You kind of alluded to this earlier about how even though you have all of this strong background and the knowledge to do the job, you alluded to the fact that the big kind of gates or hurdle to get over is the interview process,
Mhm.
which for a lot of companies don't necessarily test on the things that you might have learned in school, especially if you didn't come from like a track that had a heavy emphasis on, let's say, like data structures and algorithms, and you have to do those kind of tests to get the job in the first place. Do you see that changing in the future, or do you see that changing now where there are different ways of interviews or different emphasis or different things that are being emphasized to, I guess, bring in into the fold more people that might not have had the coursework that would have helped them with the interview, but would be super valuable because of the coursework, because of their experience on the job itself?
I actually don't know if that is changing or will change in any significant way. And I think part of the reason for that is the things, at least the way I see it, and I know a lot of people will agree with this. It's really the base skills that matter. Those are the hard ones to learn. So, for example, being comfortable with writing software and having that sort of fluency is a hard thing. That's not something you can develop in a month. But learning about certain algorithms is considerably easier. So if somebody has a written code, but has not, let's say, taken a formal course in algorithms or data structures, it's much easier for them to just, look at a bunch of stuff online these days and then just learn, oh yeah, there's these common data structures and some of these algorithms. But I think companies still will need a systematic way to interview. So what that means is, right, in a good interview process, you want to check for sort of algorithmic or conceptual knowledge and math and physics background, things like that. But then you also want to check for comfort with writing software. But that comfort with writing software can't just be, you know, ask somebody some random question every interview. And I think focusing on certain algorithms adds some structure. Now, I'm not saying I think it is possible for people to come up with structure to that doesn't require formal knowledge of algorithms and things like that. But you're still asking people to solve some problems. And oftentimes, well, most problems require some kind of base algorithm or combination of different ones. And sometimes people will implement what is traditionally a studied algorithm, even though they don't have a formal background, because, logically, that's just where they arrive. I think what is not going to change is the fact that people will interview you and evaluate comfort with coding. Now, they may not ask specifically for implementation of certain algorithms. They may just generically say, hey, this is a puzzle or a problem that we want to solve, and we want to see how you approach it. And so that I think will stay. Although I think it'll be interesting how some of this evolves in the age of AI co-pilots and stuff. So that part isn't too obvious to me. But yeah, I think so the summary I think is right that there's a little bit of adaptation people have to go through if they're coming from a non-computer science background. But typically what I've seen is that that's not that difficult to do if they have the base knowledge and experience, which again is just they have written software, they have a math and physics understanding. The learning the algorithms part is easy.
If you enjoyed this clip, make sure you watch the entire video, which has a lot more content just like this. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of our episodes where we talk to leaders in the tech industry, from software engineers to product managers to engineering managers, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and also click the notification bell.